Today we are going to talk about the heart. We have an anterior view of the heart here, and we have to understand that we have 4 chambers inside the heart. 2 superior chambers being a right and left atria, and then 2 inferior chambers, a right and left ventricle. In order to get blood into the heart, blood first comes into the right atria, and it flows from the superior vena cava, which will be all the blood from the superior part of your body. Coming into the superior vena cava is the right and left brachiocephalic trunks. And from the inferior part of your body, we have the inferior vena cava, carrying deoxygenated blood into the right atria. Blood moves through the atria to the ventricles, and then will come out the pulmonary trunk leading to the lungs. The pulmonary trunk breaks into a right and left pulmonary artery to get oxygen in the lungs. It will come back to the heart leading into the left atria through the pulmonary veins. And we can see 2 pulmonary veins on either side of the heart. As the blood flows through the left atria and into the left ventricle, it will come out the left ventricle through our aorta. The aorta is a very large artery, and we have an ascending part of the aorta, we have an aortic arch, and then a descending aorta, which goes all the way into the abdomen. We can see the pulmonary trunk and aorta are connected by the ligamentum arteriosum. We can see 3 main divisions coming off of the aortic arch. The first one on the most right side is the right brachiocephalic trunk. That will divide into the right and left common carotid, the right common carotid and the right subclavian artery. Next to that we have the left common carotid artery, and next to that we have the left subclavian artery. As I turn the heart and start to open, we can see a major division coming off of the aorta, and this is our right coronary artery, which will be found in the coronary sinus, which is going to be delivering oxygen to the heart itself. The left coronary artery comes out from the other side of the heart. It branches off into the anterior interventricular artery because it's running in between the 2 ventricles. We have a major vein, being the great cardiac vein, which will take blood back into the heart from the anterior aspect. As we rotate around the side, that left coronary artery becomes the left circumflex artery because it's coming around the heart, and we have a circumflex vein coming around the heart. As we get to the most posterior aspect of the heart, we can see a posterior interventricular artery and a posterior interventricular vein, and we can see the coronary sinus, which is going to return coronary blood back into the right atrium along where we see the inferior vena cava. On the posterior aspect of the heart, the other blood vessel we want to mention is the azygous vein, which is coming off of the superior vena cava and would attach lower to the inferior vena cava. In case one of those is compromised, we can still try and get blood back into the heart. Superficially, over the atria, we have 2 flaps known as auricles, which hold some extra blood for us. And we also want to make sure we understand all these blood vessels are originating and coming in at the base of the heart, and the inferior angle or pointy area is the apex of the heart. So it's a little reversed for what we're used to. Coming off of the right coronary artery, we do have the marginal artery because it's moving into the margin between the 2 main arteries. The blood coming from the left ventricle is going to come out through the aortic valve to run into the aorta to go all through our systemic circuit. And here we can also see the Purkinje fibers, the last fibers of the conductile cells of the heart, carrying the electricity to the outer wall of both ventricles. And this is our heart.